Hey friends, Lolly here. I just wanted to check in. This is more so just going to be about like overcoming the struggles that can come with chronic illness. So, for those of you that don't know me, I have mast cell activation syndrome, POTS, and EDS, which is the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Basically, after I got sick with COVID in 2020, my body just kept getting worse. I started having pain in joints that spread to like all my bones, and pretty consistent muscle pain every day that just kind of gets worse sometimes and less worse other days. And so now it's been about 5 years with mast cell activation syndrome, and I only recently got a diagnosis this year of mast cell activation syndrome, and it took a long time to get diagnosed. We couldn't figure out what was wrong. Like, nothing seemed to be wrong physically. But now that it has progressed, now we are starting to see like, oh yeah, there's swelling here for like no reason, like all this stuff. And so I think when you struggle with a chronic illness, it's like this really defeating kind of experience, because I mean, I likely won't ever not have this illness. I'll only learn how to manage the symptoms better, which is depressing, and if I wanted to, I could very well justify to myself being lazy and doing nothing on my bad days, where my whole body hurts and I can't grab things well, and like I can't breathe well and all this stuff, because I feel like a lot of people, if this was just a one-off for them, yeah, they would just lay in bed all day. But the thing is, this will happen to me over and over and over again. And if I lay in bed every day this happens, I will have no quality of life. I won't have a job. My kid will be neglected, I can't do that all the time. So it's really hard, I think, coming to that balance of like knowing when to give yourself rest because you need it, but then when you're just kind of giving up and calling it rest. Because I think that is honestly highly demotivating when I'm resting, not because I'm honoring my body, but because I give up. That's really, I think, bad for me. And so when it kind of gets to the reason that that's why I'm like not doing anything, I have to just kind of push through and push myself to do what I can. It's like, so maybe I won't be hiking miles today, but I can still do the dishes. Even if it hurts to bend over, I can still do it. I can still do laundry, which I'm gonna go do later after that. And I did kind of give myself the morning to just be lazy and like lay around and drink coffee. I'm still drinking coffee and it's like almost noon, but trying to give myself that balance, not pushing myself too hard, but also not completely just like giving up. Because I still want to have a life. I still want to have some quality of life. And I know that no life is fun and happiness all the time, and there's always boring parts to life. The parts that they would never show in movies, But it's just, it's difficult when you are chronically facing pain and illness, to not want to just give up and call it rest and call it relaxation and self-care, but really you're just wallowing in the fact that like you can't do anything. Because I know that I've been there. I spent a lot of last year wallowing in my pain and giving up, and it was not a great year for me. A lot of it, I feel like I slept through most of it, and that makes me sad, not just as a human, but like especially as like a parent, feeling like I'm missing out on precious time with my child because my body wants to sleep. I know I need sleep and I try to get enough, but like, I mean, I fell asleep yesterday. Luckily my dad was home, so my son wasn't alone or anything, but I fell asleep at like 4 p.m. because I could. And I slept till like 8 a.m. this morning. That's quite a lot. And I feel exactly the same as if I'd slept 6 to 8 hours per the norm, or if I'd slept 3 hours. I really feel about the same. So, that's the thing. If I'm gonna feel the same, no matter how much I sleep, then I'm not gonna waste my life sleeping away, you know? But I'm sure everyone who struggles with this has to come to their own way to make peace with their life, and these consistent struggles that happen. When you're not chronically ill, you don't really understand. I didn't understand before. I understood in theory, but I didn't actually understand the true reality of those emotions that come with accepting, or at least just acknowledging even, that your body's not going to be good like how you remember it. I think it's harder almost to go from having a healthy body to having an unhealthy body than it is just always having an unhealthy body, because that's kind of the baseline for you. You don't actually know what you're missing, but when you know what you're missing, it's even harder. But I just have to keep focusing on, like, appreciating those good days when they come, and personifying gentleness on the bad days, because being harsh to anyone who's having a bad day never really does anything good. It usually just kind of makes things spiral worse. So, myself included. Being mean to myself when I'm having a bad day doesn't really help at all. Yeah, there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes, like, low-key bullying myself to go do stuff and get off my lazy butt helps, and it's what I need. Other days, I just need to accept that I need, like, rest. But again, it's just hard emotionally, knowing that there's so much you miss out on, and then using that as an excuse to miss out on even more, and letting that perpetuate into a cycle of depression and missing out on things. And, like, it's hard to not get stuck in that. But it's hard, and it's easy to get out of it. It's hard because it takes a heck of a lot of discipline and motivation, but it's easy because really, even just putting yourself out there, it takes one time of, like, skipping your isolated nap or whatever, and just doing the thing that you really think you don't have energy for. Just one thing, just one. Not like, don't load yourself out with 20 different social outings when you're feeling, like, super in pain and depressed or anything. But I know, especially, like, at least for depression, but even for chronic illness recently, like, just making myself do at least one thing, like, in the week that maybe I thought I wouldn't be able to because of my chronic illness. And so, like, it makes me feel a little more unstoppable when I can do that. Even if I do pay for it later, it's kind of worth it. And, I mean, everyone is going to be different, what's worth it to you, you know, but I do think that just challenging yourself to do one thing you think you can't once a week, don't set the bar super high, but it does pull you a little bit out of that hole. Like, this past Sunday, I went and mined quartz crystals with my family in Cadet, Missouri, about an hour away, and it was awesome. I really had a great time. I hadn't gone in a couple years, and it's something I had really loved before. And a couple years ago, even though I was beginning to struggle with the chronic illness, it really hadn't hit as bad as it is now. And so we didn't stay as long as we did last time we went, but we still went. And I think that's okay. It doesn't have to be like an all-day expedition for it to count, you know, for you to have those fun memories with your family. Sometimes, you know, maybe it's just going and making a meal for your family and sitting down with them, you know. Maybe it's not even going anywhere. It's that thing you think you can't do, though, because you feel bound by your pain, and you miss out, and that causes more pain, you know. Just step out of that cycle for just a bit. Challenge yourself to do that thing you think you can't do because of your pain, and show yourself you can do it, and it does lessen the pain. But it's something you have to keep doing, because the pain comes back, right? Life is just a series of painful attacks, right? But also, like, it's also what you make of it, too. You can see it as that, or you can see it as opportunities to become stronger and more wise. Because it's both. It really is. Pain is your opportunity to grow. That's the thing. It is both painful and it is an opportunity to grow. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to rant, give like an update on where I'm at mentally right now with it. It's hard, but so am I. We just get stronger the more we do hard things, you know? So I'm basically like a spiritual, you know, tough guy muscle builder. But yeah, so I'm going to get off here and go do laundry because it's something I can do. I may not be able to go ride a bike 10 miles today, but or mine crystals or walk around for miles at the botanical gardens like we did yesterday. But it's something, and it's a thing that normally I would tell myself I don't even have the energy to do that because I just feel bad. So I feel bad, and I'm going to find the energy to do it because both exist at the same time. So if you're out here with a chronic illness or a condition that is causing grief and pain, just challenge yourself. One of the easiest things on your I can't do this list, do it. Make that the only thing you do today if that's what you need to do, but do it. And then give yourself permission to rest after that. That is key too. Because if you're gonna go ahead and do the hard thing, then you might as well give yourself permission to also do the easy things and just not give up, but just like actually rest. And I find that if you're resting and you're feeling guilty about resting, you're not actually resting because the worrying and guilt wear you out. So you're not actually resting. You're just sitting there in motion mentally, and that's exhausting. So for rest to actually be restful, you have to not feel bad about taking it. And so for me, it takes doing one thing that I previously told myself I didn't have the energy for. So yeah, hopefully this can help someone. God, I babbled for longer than I thought. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good day. And I just want you to like look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. Just say, I love you into the mirror. Just once. And really like mean it and look into your own eyes. Because when's the last time you did that? We don't do that. But it is really powerful. So just do that. Bye.